looking to move to Europe, for example? Are you looking to move? Are you looking to move? Well, I got just the thing for you. Well, I'm going to be talking about those who are interested in moving to Scandinavia. This is the video for you. So, hello, let's do this.
I'm headed straight for the castle. They want to make me their queen.
Hello beautiful people, and welcome to another video. I've been looking forward to filming this video for a while, but just that been, it's not been happening, but here we are now. So I wanted to make this video to talk about those of you that are interested in moving, because I really do get this question a lot in my DMs, like, how did you move, what's going on, how can I move, what can I do to move, and all of that, how can I come, blah blah blah, the usual questions. So I thought, hey, why not make a video out of this? I'm obviously going to be adding to all the knowledge on YouTube that is already there. People make these videos all the time, but I will add my voice to it. I will preach to the choir on it. So let's get into it. Okay, so as I said, in this video I want to talk about the different ways somebody can move to Europe, specifically to Scandinavia, because that's where I've been based. Yes, now I can say I've been based in Scandinavia because I have lived in 2 countries already so far. So I feel like a little bit about Scandinavian-ish in like Scandinavia. I'm going to share with you some of the ways that you can move to Scandinavia and some of the things that you can look out for to do. So I have about 4 ways that I feel or I would advise anybody to look into for those of you that are looking forward to moving, or those of you that want to move to Scandinavia. Let's get it. So number 1, I would recommend looking at the school option. You can come and study in Scandinavia, of course. There are lots of scholarships that are offered by the different countries. Some of the most popular, of course, are the DART, which is offered in Germany. Hungary does scholarships. Finland does scholarships. So there are a lot of countries. I think the Swedish one should be the most famous one. They do the scholarships as well. So there are a lot of scholarships, and believe me, all you have to do in this very good age and in this very good age that we're living in, all you have to do is go to Google, scholarships in Europe. It's gonna come. The information is going to come. Gather your information, gather your paperwork. Some schools will require you to pay like an application fee, and some schools will not. I know, for example, when I applied to study in Norway, you don't pay any application fees, but when I was applying for Denmark, you had to pay application fees as an international student. So you really have to, guys, it's just about the research. You really have to put in the work yourself. I personally, I can sit here and talk to you about it, of, oh yes, there are these scholarships available, but you really have to get on the internet, put in the work yourself, read through the websites of any schools. Texting me or inboxing me like, oh, so yeah, what school are you at? Can you get me into your school? I hold no such power. I do not have that such power. I did the exact same thing. Went on the internet, searched for the schools, read the requirements. Do I fit in? Yes. Applied, got admission. That's how it works. I can't do it for you. I cannot recommend a course for you because it's what you want. It's according to your preference and according to your grades and according to all of that. Like, all of that will have to be according to what you have. And I can make recommendations, but I really can't do the process for you. So one of the best ways, for me, it's actually one of the best ways if you're really looking to move anywhere, get into a school program, because the school program, usually school programs last to, if it's a bachelor, 3 years or more. If it's a master's, 2 years. So it kind of gives you like that time to actually live and grow in the country. So if you're really interested to making the move a little bit more permanent, you kind of like have a basis, like you have learned the system and all of that. So for me, I would recommend applying for school, looking into education as the first and the best way kind of to move to any country. Number 2, is the au pair program. This program I learned of when I came to Scandinavia, when I was in Norway. This is when I learned of this program, and I will do a little bit more videos on this because I have experienced this program. So I will do a little bit more videos. I'll make like maybe a mini series of like 3 videos just explaining the whole process, what it's like, and like a typical day in the life of like a person doing this program. So I will kind of like, I'll find the time. Yes, but it's the au pair program. So the au pair program is open mostly to young women, if I could say it like that, but of course even young men are welcome to apply. Sometimes it's just up to the family's preferences. I've seen so many, what do they call themselves, bro pairs? Yes, bro pairs. So I've seen quite a number of those. So it's not just limited to the females, but you know, the gents can get in on it too. So the au pair program is basically, it's designed as a cultural exchange program of where you leave your home country and go to a foreign country and live with a host family. So the host family, you practically live with them, maybe in their house or to a segment attached to their house. And yeah, basically it's for you to learn their culture or the culture of that country, and for them to also learn from you. But at the same time, you need to be part of the family kind of, so you need to help out with house chores. Mostly it's like, you know, help out, especially if they have kids. Not especially, help out with the kids, because the specification of this program is that the family, most of the times, I think all the time, has to have kids, so that there's that interaction for you as well. It's not just that, you know, you're just living with these people, so you have like that interaction of family life and all of that. So it's basically a learning kind of program, and this program opens you up to the opportunity of learning the different cultures of the country and all of that. That means when there are festivals, there are whatever traditions they have in that country, you get to participate, like from a family's perspective or from the family's view, if you get what I mean. Like when it's somebody's birthday, you're there. If it's Independence Day, you're there. If it's whatever holiday they get to celebrate, you are part of it. And like, not just part of it away, a spectator, you are actually participating. So you get to learn the culture, you get more culturally enriched that way. That is the design of this program. It has a whole more to it. As I said, I will make a series of videos, but if you're looking to move to Scandinavia, this could be some of the ways. All the different countries, again, this is something you can Google, read about it. All the different countries have got different requirements, but most of the countries do have a specified like visa just for this, where you just, it's an au pair visa, so you just come and all of that. And yeah, so that's one of the ways. If you're really interested in learning culture, you just want to get a feel of a different place, I would recommend the au pair program, because it's a good way just for you to learn from the ground, like what really happens, what do these people do in their everyday lives, like, you know, reality kind of, instead of just the things that you see or hear on social media or on TV. So the reality of it, the deep-rooted part of it. Join the au pair program. Number 3, one of the most interesting ways to move to a new country is marry a native. Get married, find the love of your life and marry them. And then you move to their country. So it's the same thing with Scandinavia. You fall in love with somebody who lives in Scandinavia. You guys decide, oh, we're gonna get married. You go through the process, get married. Even it's a whole process. You just don't get married and move. So it's very important to really read about these things, like read about it. Now I know it's very popular, especially with the dating apps. People are meeting each other online, and you know, I don't know any dating apps. I have no recommendation on that. I met the person I'm dating in person, so I have no experience with dating apps, and I will not recommend any dating apps. And personally, I'm not in an interracial or inter-country, I'm not really sure. Like the person I'm dating, we are from the same country, we just met each other away from our country. So I have basically no knowledge on this one, honestly, so I cannot really give that much advice. But from the friends that I have who have done this, you meet somebody, you guys like each other, you get married, you get through the process. They have like a whole process, at least in the countries that I have lived in, they have a whole process of where you have to prove and all of that, your relationship and everything like that. You just don't move. So even when you do get married, you really have to get married maybe in both countries. It depends on the country that you are in, just to make sure that you know everything is legit and you file your paperwork. Once your paperwork is filed, you are allowed to move on like is it a family visa or something like that. So one of the ways, popular as well, I guess now it's becoming a little bit more popular, so another way you can move to Scandinavia is marry a native. And number 4 is getting a job. So there are so many job ads, there's so many websites. Getting a job outside of your country is not impossible. It's very likely. It's just how proactive you really are. If personally, that's my opinion, it's just about how proactive you really are and how your job searching is. You can literally be searching for jobs outside your country and not just within. So if you really want to work outside your country, widen your global search for a job, clean up your CV to make it international standard, like put yourself in order to, you know, take that avenue and apply for these different jobs. They're always looking for people. There are a lot of countries all over in all the different countries always looking for people, like outsourcing talent from other countries. So you can get a job in Scandinavia and you'll be able to move. You get a worker's visa. It's a whole simple process. Okay, it's not really that much of a simple process, but it's a process that you and your employer both get to go through. So a worker's visa, I really want to talk much about it because I have worked in Scandinavia, but most of the times like the things have been handled for me by like the employer. So maybe I shouldn't have been the person to be giving this advice, but I just wanted to make this video to just share some of the ways that you can look into and move. So most of these things, guys, the information is there on the internet. And even just when you, for example, you say, oh my goodness, I want to move to Norway, I want to move to Denmark, I want to move to Sweden, I want to find a job there. It's also nice just to go onto their immigration page and read what the rules and requirements are, even as you are job hunting, because I think they always have like a list of companies that you need to work for, and like the company needs to be registered with them to take like international workers and all of that. So it's nice for you to know the processes even as you are applying for the jobs. That way it's easier, because most of the times the employers already know what to do. So even when they're outsourcing and they give you the job, like they already know the process, so they'll just quickly run through it and they'll tell you what you need to do your end. Like usually from my experience so far, it's always like a smooth process, but then there are also other people that have to do the process themselves without the employer. So it's always going to be different. It's always going to be different depending on the arrangement of the job and all of that. But you can get a worker's visa to work in Scandinavia if that's what you're looking at. Yes. Can I think of another thing? Oh, I can think of one last one. So let's make it like 5 tips. Is you can do a visitor's visa. You can do, there are so many exchanges that are offered. Like there are so many exchanges, so many volunteer groups and all of that. Like different organizations take people in just, you know, for, these are like short-term kind of things of where for a visitor's visa, for example, you can only get that for 3 months in most countries. And the exchanges are like that as well. They're usually maybe like a 6-month period. Like it's always like a shorter time, but it's a way for you to move. Some of these things you just get to move there, and then when you move there you can kind of like figure it out and move on to something else, get into school and all of that. Like I feel sometimes if you're really interested into moving to a different country, getting in the system first is the best way. Get a visitor's visa, get into their system, and then like work it out from there, because I've learned from so many people's different stories of just how that happens, of where you just move to a new country, you just went on a vacation or you just want to visit and all of that, and then your life just changes, all of that. So if you're really interested in moving, these are some of the ways that I have gathered up from my little experiences that can help you in your search, even as you're looking at the different countries, be it in Scandinavia, in Europe, all around the world. You can look at some of these options and just go from there. So I really hope my video was useful to you. I hope you learned something, and I enjoyed sharing this thing with you in a very short and based on my knowledge kind of way. So I hope you've learned something, and I wish you good luck if you're going to, you know, try and figure it out and get to move and all of that. I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, hit me up if you ever visit Denmark or Norway. Just hit me up, and you know, I can help out maybe, or I can meet you for a drink. I can meet you for a drink. So thank you so much for watching my video. Until the next one, toodles.